Right then, I'm all ready. We're ready for fall hiking weather. What, too much? But there's snow. I'm going to be cold. It's not that cold. How you guys doing? So what I want to share with you today is a process that we're going to go through to get ready to go out and adventure out in the mountains. So we still want to see larches. It's mid-October, and we need to check the weather to make sure we're bringing the right level of gear, because if it's still on the summer side of fall, we can go and get into a trail run and just go with trail runners and go quick. Or if it's more on the late side of fall, we may have snow, and then what do we do? And then maybe we shouldn't even go because of the weather. Why don't you come along with me, and I'll show you that process. Okay, so here we go. We've got Cal Topo on. I'm got a trip coming up. It was going to be trail running, but it looks like the snow has already come in, and so we've changed it to hiking and a photography trip. So what we're going to do is make sure the weather's good for that, and make sure we have the right forecast, so that we can know basically what kind of or how much gear and layers and clothing to bring. So I've got Cal Topo up. This is the trail we're going to go. We're going to go to Ingalls Lake, which has still got larches that have changed. You can see Ingalls Lake, or sorry, Lake Ingalls, right here. It's right by Ingalls Peak. And, we're in just in the Central Cascades of Washington State. So if I just keep zooming out, you can kind of see where we are. It's just north of Cle Elum, Washington, and we're going to go in and check out Lake Ingalls and see the last of the larches. It's got fresh snow. We know that over the weekend, as well as I saw all sorts of Instagram posts showing that we've got some not a lot of snow, but some. It's going to should be really pretty for photography. We're not doing a technical thing, at least we're going to be on the trail, but it'll be curious as to how much snow and the snow conditions in which could make it treacherous. So we'll probably have to bring micro spikes. Anyway, this is the trail. I've got slope shading on, which is more important if you're worried about avalanches. Here, we're not. It's too early in the season. There's not enough snow to worry about anything like that. Later in the season, though, this definitely could be some avy terrain. So those reds are particularly of a concern if you're concerned about avalanche. So I might do a talk more on that later, but definitely Area 1 training is highly recommended for people that like to adventure in the mountains for the winter. So with that, what I'm going to go over to is show you a couple of sites that I use. I use what we call NOAA. These are almost all NOAA. I use Windy sometimes. I'll show you Windy in maybe another video, but I'm going to show you NOAA and then Mountain Forecast today. So I've got some hot links. I like it's NOAA. It's forecast.weather.gov specifically. And what I like about it, and it's like, whoa, look at this snow, and this is Asgard, so we're not going up to Asgard. What I'm going to do though is go down. Oh, here he is. Here's the map, and we're not going up there. We're going to go be down here in the valley. But what I'm interested in is kind of the high point, which is this Ingalls Pass, which is along our trail. If I zoom in, you might be able to see it. No, no trail. But this is the pass right here, so we'll click that. And it says a high wind warning is in effect today. If I scroll down, it's heavy rain, so fresh, it'll be muddy, most likely by Thursday still. Snow tonight, and then chance of snow showers tomorrow. And then you can go down and look at what it says today, or tonight rather. Up to 9 inches of snow is possible at the pass, which is along our trail. And then wind gusts as high as 55. So very windy today. Oh my gosh. So glad I'm not there tonight. And on Wednesday, 40% chance of snow showers, partly sunny, still kind of windy. Goes to partly cloudy, and then on Thursday, sunny with a high near 44, generally calm wind. So that's going to be the day we go. I also look at what happens that night and into Friday, just to make sure that if sometimes the weather systems come in quick, and or if you get delayed for any reason, either just slow or if you have an injury or something happens where you get to have to spend the night, you want to know what happens the next day. And so it's 30% chance of rain, partly sunny, so not generally too bad. But even though I may not need a raincoat on Thursday, chances are, or not chances, but you want to be prepared for weather, particularly when it's cool with a low of 34, and you don't want to be wet in that. So raincoat will be something that I pack along with me for Thursday. Okay, so that's what NOAA is forecasting. What you can do also is or what I use is mountain-forecast.com, and I've got it already set to Ingalls, but the difference with Mountain Forecast is that it's only for specific peaks, and so you have to have a peak in their database. You can do a map, or if in this case, I know that it's in there, you can just type in the mountain you're interested in. There's 2 Ingalls in the database. I'm not going to California. It's this one I want. And it will show me on the map where that is. That's Ingalls, and that's the lake where I want to go. And what's cool about Mountain Forecast is that it gives me usually 3 different elevations of that mountain at the very peak, about halfway up, and then kind of at the base-ish of the mountain, or just lower elevation. So again, today would not be the day I would want to try to summit Ingalls with 50 mile per hour plus winds and snow. So at 7,600 feet, it says about 9 to 10 inches of snow, and less on Wednesday, and then on Thursday it's agreeing. Again, this is at the peak. I'm not going that high in elevation. Maybe around 6,000 is all I'm doing. So I'll look at the lower elevation, and you can see still today pretty stormy. What's interesting though is that the snowfall is much less in the forecast than what NOAA says. And so that's interesting and gives me some hope that maybe it's not as much snow. I just want a little bit of snow. I don't want to make it super hard and punching through fresh snow, particularly early season. Sometimes that can be kind of ankle busting. So tomorrow looks good, and then Thursday looks awesome, and then very low wind, even at on the mountain at 5,000 feet. So generally pretty good. The high is around 43 at the top. Um, Interesting. It says the low is also 43. That's probably not true. I don't, of that time of day. Yeah, yeah. Okay, gotcha. So at night, the low is. Let's go back to the 5,000 foot one. The low is 32. The high is 43. It's about consistent with NOAA, and you kind of track it throughout the day. So generally, I'm looking okay. Again, that rain is going to come in Friday p.m. Want to make sure I get off the mountain, which we're just doing a day trip on Thursday, so we'll be fine. And so this is telling me it's going to be cool, above freezing, but with fresh snow, and should be really a pretty day for pictures. So I'm kind of excited for that. So I'll bring the nice camera, maybe an extra lens even, because we're just hiking and clothing appropriate. So I'll show you that kind of next as far as what I decide is probably a good kit that'll keep me comfortable for the day as well as safe if for any reason we have to spend the night or hike back in the dark. So that'll be coming up next. All right. Okay, so we checked the weather out, and now we're ready to basically figure out the clothing that we're going to be bringing, as well as if we have to bring any extra, what we would put into our backpack. So I'm going to show you basically what I'm going to be doing. And so for the legs, it's going to be pretty simple. I'm just bringing hiking pants. Definitely not what I'm wearing right now are denim jeans, but hiking pants that are somewhat, at least don't soak up the rain, just polyester, nylon type of pants. I'm going to couple that though, because of the snow and maybe potentially mud, I'm going to couple that with some gaiters. These are mountaineering gaiters. If you have any kind of gaiters similar to this, these all work. They just slip over the bottom of your boots, in the lower part of your pants, and they basically keep the snow off. And so you don't want snow in your boots or getting soaked through. That's not any fun, and you can get pretty cold if that happens. So these will keep the snow away from the lower legs and the feet. So I'll have that. And that's pretty much it for the legs. What I'm going to do for the top is I'm going to do a layering system. This will be my base layer, my only layer I'm going to be wearing. And I like this because it's a lightweight fleece. It's like I would almost call it like an R1 type fleece. And it's got a zipper on it, so when I do warm up, I can zip up, or if I get too hot, I unzip. It's very breathable. Fleece has a lot of warmth properties to it, so makes a great, very comfortable base layer. It's not particularly resistive to abrasions, or maybe I don't want to abuse this with my backpack straps. So what I'll do is that I'll couple this with a very lightweight jacket, which I actually use year round. So if I layer it here for you. So this is a very nice jacket. Again, I use this year round. It doesn't have a huge amount of insulation properties. It's actually very thin, very breathable. It does have wind resistive properties to it, and does have a DWR coating to it. So it does resist, light sprinkle or a very short rain shower of some sort. And this is super durable. I take this through the trees, over rocks, and gets lots of abuse and does fabulously. It's very stretchy, and just love it year round. So that's going to be pretty much my probably what I'll wear, or what I'll be wearing most of the day for this hike. Again, from 30 to 40 degrees. Once we get into the sun, it'll be pretty warm. So might even strip down and do one of these layers. So if I got overly hot, because this is the warm one, I could just wear this by itself and call it good. So, but it's going to be a little cool in the morning, around 30. And our trailhead is in the valley, so starting early, we'll be in the shade. So it'll be a little cool to start off with. So I don't think this will be quite enough, at least right at the beginning. So I'm going to bring one more, like a mid-weight jacket. Some people would still call this lightweight. It does have some gridded fleece on it. It's wind resistive, and also another DWR treatment to it. So this will kind of be what I plan to start off with. I might have some extra gear in the car just in case, but this certainly will do me well and keep me warm for the day of hiking. So that's going to cover us for what we anticipate will be our day, but it won't necessarily protect me in an emergency situation. So just because it says it's sunny doesn't mean it will be for sure. It can be cloudy, it can even rain on us for a time. So I want to be prepared just in the off chance. So on the rain side, I'm not going to go bring a Gore-Tex jacket with me this time. That's just my personal preference. I'm pretty comfortable that the weather is solid. But with the DWR and then this, I should be good for an incidental rain cloud or fog or something like that as we walk through. So this is just a runner's jacket, predominantly for wind, but it does resist rain better than DWR. Definitely not to the extent of Gore-Tex, because this does wet through eventually. As I've run in this where it's been raining all day, this will wet through. But again, it's be better than DWR, and it does stop the wind for sure. So this can fit underneath those jackets and keep me warm in case I get cold, or if there's some light rain. Again, on the cold front, get that cold front. I am bringing a puppy. It's almost mandatory here in Washington State to have a puppy with you. I'm just going to go with the vest though this time. It's lighter weight. The other clothes I've got are pretty warm, and with a low around 30 and the wind not being that strong, this will be plenty in case, even if I had to spend the night, I could survive with the layers that I've got plus this. So a puppy comes with me. Again, it's very lightweight, it's small. This overall kit weighs only about 2 pounds if you're kind of keeping track if you would do something similar. So it's really not that heavy, and it's a lot more collapsible than what I showed it to you. I can get it really balled down inside my pack. So you can even get this into a smaller backpack if that's what you wanted to bring. So the things I haven't talked about the head. So it'll be a stocking cap or a bandana for later on if I get overly warm. This just protects the noggin from sun and soaks up any sweat that I've got so that it doesn't get into my eyes. So it's either hat and or bandana. You can also do a hat if if you're a hat person. Sometimes I am. And then for my hands, what I'm going to do, again, I don't think I'm going to need them much, but midweight gloves, just to be on the safe side, and I can continue to do work. And that's important because if your fingers get overly cold, they start to sting, or worse, they go numb, and you can't even unzip zippers and things like that. It becomes very dangerous, and you're not able to, I'm thinking like in an emergency type situation when you're trying to get something done or trying to help somebody or get out yourself, and your hands aren't even working. That's pretty miserable and dangerous to happen. So midweight gloves, these aren't particularly waterproof, so they're not great for building snowmen or anything, or in a rainstorm, but they'll work. And this is what I think will be the worst case conditions that we would expect. But I'll also couple this in case if I have to, if I'm not able to get back to the car at night, I'm going to have to spend the whole night out. I've got mittens, and so mittens are terrible for getting any work done. They're really hard to, because you don't have all of your fingers working. You just kind of have like a lobster claw is all you've got. But I've sized these so that I can keep my midweight gloves on, and then double that up with a mitten. So in the case where my hands were really cold, I've got a solution where I can keep these protected. You got 2 layers. As long as these don't get overly wet, this will keep my hands nice and warm and dry throughout just about any condition I would expect for this outing. Again, in a total rain, other types of things, I'd want something else besides just this. But this is pretty I don't know if it's waterproof, very water resistive, and it's going to keep my fingers in the overall midweight glove nice and warm on the inside. So I recommend a glove system when you go out into the mountains, particularly in the fall, winter, spring. And so this is what I do for the conditions that I'm expecting to see. Okay, so I think that's it. Oh, probably forgot the most important thing, the last thing in my kit. Last thing? Last thing, yes. Your emergency bivvy, and this is really for emergencies. It's not technically a bivvy at all. It is a garbage sack, and this garbage sack works great for multiple purposes. You can sit on it to keep you off the snow. It doesn't have a lot of insulation properties, so if you are using this to sit on the snow, it's going to be cold. So what I do is that I bring this. This is what I will sit on during the day. I would actually use this. This is just a insulated pad that you would use for camping, very cheap. I cut this one in half, and so I just use this to sit on. And this works actually pretty well to sit on snow with. But if you want a little bit bigger surface to keep yourself off the snow, you can use this. You can use this as a bivvy. You can actually dip your legs inside of it. So it's like a little half bivvy, so that plus the insulation will keep you more comfortable at night. It's windproof, so the wind won't cut through, and it's not breathable though, but neither are emergency bivvies, so it's about the same. You can also use this as a poncho, so I'm not bringing Gore-Tex, right? If it was pouring down rain, I'm not expecting that, so that would be weird, and I would be trying to go back to the trailhead if we started seeing those types of storms present themselves. But I could cut holes in this. I could use this as a poncho. I could put this over my backpack and keep all my backpack from getting wet. I can also use this as a liner and keep all my essentials inside my backpack dry by putting them inside the garbage sack inside my backpack. Many backpacks are not waterproof. They'll wet completely through, and if you don't have some waterproof protection for the clothes I'm bringing, when I get them out because I'm cold, they're going to be already wet, so that's no good. So you want to keep those protected. Garbage sack works great for that. And what some people do, they don't even put this as part of the kit. They just keep it in all their backpacks, one for every backpack that they have, because they have so many different uses to them. Highly recommend bringing one, again, because they cost nothing, they weigh nothing, and they have so many uses. Really could make a difference in an emergency situation for yourself. So, okay, with that, I think that's all I wanted to share with you regarding kind of how to prepare for fall type conditions. They're the ones that we were seeing on the weather forecast, and it should be a beautiful fall adventure. So stay tuned for that. coming up next. Just fabulous day. Sunny, and then it cooled down with some clouds, luckily. Subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Going to be winter season soon. The snow's coming, and I love the snow. So yeah, I ate like 3 cookies today. I ate 3 cookies and like a small little handful of beef jerky all day long. It was weird. I'm thinking about hamburgers and maybe a milkshake. Definitely a milkshake today. Yes.